Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, the 17th day of June. It's Global Garbage Man Day. That's pretty cool.
It is. They deserve a day.
Yeah, we love our sanitary engineers who come to our place. Is that the right way? Is that what it's called now?
Sanitation engineers.
Yeah, they're awesome folks. Anyway, National Eat Your Vegetables Day. I eat some.
You don't eat many.
Pickles or vegetables. National Stewart's Root Beer Day. I do like root beer. It's good stuff. Stewart's is good. National Apple Strudel Day and National Cherry Tart Day. And I like both of those, and that is why I'm on a diet. You don't like vegetables, but you like all the not-so-good stuff? I'm going to be talking with Dr. Kevin Schewe on the program today. He's the author of a historical sci-fi thriller called Bad Love Strikes. Plus, he's got a new book out along the same lines here. It's called The Bad Love Gang. We're going to chat all about that coming up in just a bit. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A 23andMe survey found that people with type O blood are the least susceptible to coronavirus. Leading up to this story, I asked Heidi what blood type she is, and she said red.
I believe I'm O negative.
Are you?
I believe so,
Are you
yes.
positive?
I am not positive.
You're not positive that you're negative?
O negative.
I'm A+, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm A something, but I'm thinking it was A+. Because it's like that's the only time I ever got an A+, just in my blood type. There you go, 23andMe survey. If you want to read all about it, it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. California Highway Patrol were involved in a very slow speed chase. It's not a high-speed chase. They were going very, very slow because they were following a John Deere tractor. He was on Highway 17. 37-year-old Salvador Rodriguez refused to pull over in the stolen tractor. When they finally connected with him, 12:14 a.m., he was driving around with a stolen tractor. How
hard could that have been to have stopped him?
Well, he was going 15 miles an hour.
Right, just walk in front of him and throw some of those tack strips down.
But they were trying to get him to stop without destroying the stolen tractor, I'm sure. Anyway, he had it for about 10 minutes, then he finally got him to pull
10
over.
Minutes is all okay.
Glen Canyon Road is where they pulled him over. And turns out, I know you're going to not believe this, he was under the influence.
No.
Yeah, I know, it's a shocker. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. James Bond fans are divided over the news. We shared last week that he's going to have a 5-year-old daughter in his newest film. Or was that earlier this week? I don't know. Sometime not too long ago we talked about it. But James Bond in the next film is going to have a daughter, 5-year-old daughter, and there's people online that are none too thrilled, and I don't know why anybody really cares. But
because that's how they're going to switch it from a male Bond to a female Bond. And I agree. I happen to agree with the fans. Keep it a male Bond. It's been a male Bond this whole time.
Tell me what you think of this. Steve Harvey purchased Tyler Perry's Atlanta mansion for $15 million. Do you care about that?
Not at all.
Okay, then we'll read this story. How about this one? Ice-T told Page 6 that Law & Order has stayed on the air for as long as they have because the show has always been as fair as it possibly can be. I think that's cool. Okay. It has been on a long time. But they're just talking about, police shows that are being canceled, and this one's still been on for a long time. And he's like, that's why. So there you go. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better. If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. This year's Lollapalooza Music Festival in Chicago has been canceled over the COVID-19 concerns. A lot of events and festivals have been, so that does not shock me, but there are some people that are pretty bummed out. An alternate interpretation of the Mayan calendar. This is not good. According to a new look at the Mayan calendar. Remember the Mayan calendar said that we were all going to die a couple years ago?
Right.
Well, now an alternate interpretation says, no.
Of course.
It's going to happen this month.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. We'll talk about next month how it was wrong again.
Right,
So
exactly.
I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen. Although this year, you just never know. Michael Jordan caught a 442-pound blue marlin during last week's Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament in North Carolina.
Holy
that is a big fish.
cow.
Yeah, it's a huge fish, 442-pound blue marlin. SpaceX, this is still, I think, just amazing. Over the weekend, on Saturday, they launched 58 internet satellites into orbit. It was a historic mission. They launched more satellites in one day than ever before. And it's a mission to bring internet access to every corner of the world. They spent $10 billion working on this. So this is cool. SpaceX is doing some absolutely amazing things. And I know there's some people who are not too thrilled about that. But I just think, I don't know, it just seems really interesting to me. And what I really
Here's
like...
the thing.
Yeah.
Look how miserable the majority of the world is that has internet. Do we really want to bring it to the parts of the world that are still kind of doing okay on their own?
I'm just so happy I got some sunshine.
Right?
What is this? Internet? Oh, no. No, I have to start unfollowing
I think we really
people.
need to do that.
No. I think it's going to be a really cool thing. On a side note, I remember when they launched the satellites. I didn't notice this on Saturday, but a week ago, a month ago, whenever it was, they launched a bunch of satellites, and you could actually see the dots in the sky floating past. We were outside watching that. I thought that was so cool. North Carolina police are looking for a nude man who's been running on public jogging trails. They thought maybe he's been doing this for several weeks. They thought maybe he was done, but then they got more reports. So apparently he's going to stick it out for another week. So
You're going to stick it out?
yeah.
That's nice.
All of that just for that stupid joke. And a 70-year-old man received a $1 million hospital bill for being treated for coronavirus. So he survived. He's okay. And then he got the hospital bill, and he's like, can I get that ventilator back?
Good Lord.
Good news is he's not the one that pays the bill. It's going to be covered by Medicare. So that is good news. But, boy, that's a big bill.
Yeah, but
Starbucks.
even that, good Lord.
Yeah, no kidding. Starbucks is closing over 400 stores between the United States and Canada over the next 18 months. There's some folks really sad about that. And then one last story here. NYPD is trying to identify two suspects who looted $550,000 from a high-end camera store in Soho. It's too bad the camera store didn't have, cameras? I'm sure they did. They had to. Don't you think?
You would assume. You would hope.
I would hope so. Thanks for listening to your Scoop of the Day on the John and Heidi Show.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening on this Wednesday. Our guest today, Dr. Kevin Schewe. He's the author of a historical sci-fi thriller called Bad Love Strikes, and he's got a new book coming out on the 4th of July.
That's right, John. Bad Love Tigers premieres on the 4th of July.
So in the last book, the Bad Love Gang was in World War II era. Where will they be in this book?
Yeah, so in Bad Love Tigers, the Bad Love Gang is back. They're at the time travel machine, which is called the White Hole Project in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Had to be adjacent to the Manhattan Project because it was a backup plan to the Manhattan Project we were going to go back in time if Hitler got the atomic bomb first and foil him. And so the Bad Love Gang, in the first book, they discover this time travel machine by accident. They find a tunnel that leads to the machine, and they use it for a rescue mission in Bad Love Strikes. In Bad Love Tigers, they've all gathered at the White Hole Project on New Year's Eve, and they have music playing, and the lights go out at midnight, and they're ambushed by a Russian KGB agent named Borya Kwovo-Puskov. That starts the whole action for Bad Love Tigers. And they have to go back in time to talk to President Roosevelt to find where this breach in security occurred. And Roosevelt sends this group of teenagers, the Bad Love Gang, across America in April of 1945 on an epic road trip from Warm Springs, Georgia to Area 51. And he commissions the Bad Love Gang to protect the integrity and the future of not only the White Hole Project, but also Area 51. And their mission, they have to use the White Hole to go to 1942 World War II China and volunteer for the famous AVG Flying Tigers to complete their mission. And so it's just an exciting read from cover to cover.
I love that you touch on a lot of things that are historically accurate, but we want to make sure we let folks know this is not a true story.
You know what, John? The quick answer to that is no, but both books, Bad Love Strikes, which is out now, and Bad Love Tigers, available 4th of July, they are incredibly historically accurate. I'm a board-certified radiation oncologist. I've been a doctor for 33 years, and I can't write a book that's not historically accurate. So the cool thing, and then when you read the reviews on Amazon about Bad Love Strikes, there's 40 reviews on Amazon. It has a 4.9 out of 5-star rating.
That's awesome.
And so what you read in the reviews and what you'll see when you read the book is you really believe it's all true because it's so historically accurate. And so my sister, who I dedicated the book to, is an English teacher, and she's like, I can't tell what's truth and what's fiction. And really, that's great because that's what you want in a historical fiction.
Absolutely. And I love that because history matters.
Yeah, and in Bad Love Tigers, the new book coming 4th of July, there are so many historical vignettes about all the cities that the Bad Love Gang visit as they go from Warm Springs, Georgia to Area 51. You really get to see the country through the eyes of modern teenagers in April of 1945. So it's super fun. You get to see Warm Springs, Atlanta, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Indianapolis, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, Columbia, Missouri, Wilson, Kansas, Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, and Area 51. So if you're from anywhere in that part of the country, you're just going to love it because you're going to learn a lot of history.
That's fantastic. Again, he's got a new book called Bad Love Tigers. It's coming out on July the 4th. His other book, Bad Love Strikes, is out right now. And I love this. The one book has 21-song soundtrack. The other has a 30-song soundtrack. I've never even heard of a book with a soundtrack. That's really cool. I've got a link to all of this info in the show notes for today at JohnandHeidiShow.com. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at MarketBeatMinute.com. That's MarketBeatMinute.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Astronauts in space are exposed to the same amount of radiation as 150 to 6,000 chest x-rays.
Yikes.
Yeah, it says when astronauts leave Earth, they face a range of factors that affect them physically, including an intense amount of radiation that they're exposed to. According to NASA, that's the equivalent of anywhere between 150 all the way up to 6,000 chest x-rays. So that is a whole lot of radiation. So be careful up there. Thanks for listening to today's Fun Fact.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline England. A woman who competed in the, quote, Miss Hitler pageant, end quote, was arrested in the UK for being tied to a terror group. You've got to be kidding me. Really? Just didn't seem like something she would do. First of all, there's a Miss Hitler pageant? Why?
Yeah, why on earth would there
I've
even
never
be...
heard of such a thing.
Is that a joke? Is this fake news or Florida?
No, this is a true story. And then this young lady who competed in the Miss Hitler pageant was just recently arrested for being tied to a terror group.
Duh.
They should just go there and arrest all of them, I would think. Wouldn't you think? It's like, I can't.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
insane.
I've got a link to the story if you want to read about it. It seems very bizarre to me, but it's in the show notes for today at JohnandHeidiShow.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police allege after being told she could not enter a store in Minnesota, a woman slapped a worker in the face and then ripped off his mask and threw it in the garbage. That's not a good idea.
I'm sure that's accurate. Yeah, I could see that
35-year-old Heidi. Whoa.
It was not me.
No, she's 35. You're 45. 35-year-old Heidi Ruth Mueller wanted to go into the home improvement store at Menards, and this was in North Mankato, just south of Minneapolis, about 80 miles. Anyway, she was trying to go in, and an employee said, hey, you need to wear a mask in the store. And she quarreled briefly, it says. And then when the guy wouldn't relent, she grabbed his face, pulled his mask down, and then later she ended up smacking the guy. So she's charged with 3 misdemeanors, disorderly conduct, 2 counts of assault. Bad idea. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of those things ever. Terrible idea. That's why it's today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Prosecutors say a Milwaukee man has admitted to causing more than $40,000 of damage to Miller Park during the protests and riots back on June 2nd. According to criminal complaint filed with the Milwaukee City Council, 40-year-old Keon Lambert broke into the Brewers baseball stadium and then got a tractor, which he used to tear up the turf and dig holes. He was trying to write his name in cursive with tractor tires. The incident began when a security guard found Lambert yelling inside the stadium and running down the different levels of the seats, and at one point patting his body, saying, I got a piece for you. I don't know what that means. Security guard told prosecutors that he might be armed with a gun. I'm just reading. This should have been our weird news, really, because this is so bizarre.
Gosh.
Anyway, he said he was going to burn the place down. They arrested him, and police detained him.
People have lost their minds.
Everybody needs to just take a deep breath and calm down a little bit, okay? Can we do that? Thanks for listening. This is today's Moment of Duh.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, before we go any further, I got to say thank you to the young man who sent me the message that says I don't need to say hashtag every time. It sounds a lot better, doesn't it?
It
really does. So thank you. He's like, you don't have to say hashtag every time. I'm an old dude. I don't know how this stuff works. Anyway, fake news or Florida. A Dade County woman married a Ferris wheel and named it Bruce after she fell in love with it at the carnival.
Florida.
Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
How do you know that?
Because I read it online.
Yeah, she did. It's a true story.
Yeah.
We read it on this program, too, just so you know.
We did?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember reading.
How could you possibly not?
I rarely listen to you.
I know. You don't. Half of the time, just so you guys know, half of the time when I'm doing a radio story here, I'm reading something, I look over and she's texting somebody or playing Candy Crush or doing her taxes. I have no idea what she's up to. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of what is it called? giftcardchallenge.org. See, I almost forgot. Giftcardchallenge.org, by the way, kind of pivot a little bit the beginning of this month. Now that places are opening again, they're encouraging you to shop locally, which I think is a cool thing. If you've not yet had a chance to learn all about it, the website, once again, giftcardchallenge.org. Here's our headline for today. 2 strangers rescue a woman from a sinking car after witnessing a horrific accident. This is just an amazing story. 2 strangers did not hesitate to dive into murky waters when they saw a vehicle sinking into an irrigation ditch. This happened in California. Wednesday morning, 4:50 a.m., Daniel Miranda was on his way to work when he witnessed what he called a horrific accident. He saw a car get out of control. It hit a pole, spun more than a dozen times, and landed upside down in a ditch filled with water, and then started to sink. He thought, I can't just sit here. 27-year-old man said the car is sinking deeper and deeper into the water. And I go, man, it's time to go. And that's when Jorge Mendoza, another witness, followed suit. The 2 of them jumped into action.
Awesome.
And they helped pull the person out of there.
Awesome. And how lucky is that person that somebody was even around at 4:50 a.m. to see something like that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a 4:50 a.m. until this very moment.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, it says here, the driver of the car was a young female whose car rolled several times.
Oh, my God.
And if not for these 2...
Yep. She wouldn't have made it.
Probably not. I've got a link to the story if you'd like to read all about it. It's in the show notes. Yeah, heroes. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.